Stop what you're doing, because Remy Ma just turned a late-night talk show into a full-blown crime scene. Yes, you heard that right. This wasn't a parody or a skit. It was allegedly captured on camera using doctors backstage as if it were part of the script. Now, tell me how a platinum-selling rapper and a so-called changed woman went from being a guest of honor to being escorted out in cuffs by 2 officers and a hairstylist clutching her purse. How did we go from leaning back to leaning away from the evidence? The footage that just leaked in crystal clear HD shows the host's face frozen, the audience perplexed, and Remy oblivious. The main question is, was it a setup or a relapse? Hand in the wrong bag because, baby, the receipts are here, the footage is real. And the fall from grace, oh, it's steep. So, let's start with the beginning. It was supposed to be just another night on the after-hours show with Lance Carter. You know, the Neon Lights jazz band. That corny but endearing vibe where celebrities go to promote their projects and pretend everything's fine, and Remy Ma was the main guest. The producers were excited, the PR team was on edge, the outfit was on fire, the hair was laid, and everything was going perfectly until it wasn't. The backstage camera, yes, the one no one was supposed to ever see, it somehow leaked. We're talking about an iCloud hack and energy surveillance angles, and in that footage, clearly, Remy is seen bending over a table, and no, she wasn't adjusting her makeup. Let's not forget that Remy Ma is no stranger to controversy. She served 6 years in prison for shooting someone over a few $100s, and she once told Oprah that she had moved past violence and was focused on uplifting women. Now, the footage shows her uplifting grams of mystery powder in a green room. It's shocking not only because of what she's allegedly doing, but also because it was only minutes before she walked onto a live stage, and she was literally wiping her nose and walking into applause as if nothing had happened. This could be madness, but let's not forget who was in that room, because there were people there. A makeup artist was present. As Remy finishes her moment of introspection, a young intern who is probably new and unaware walks in. Based on his reaction, he saw something he will never forget. He froze with his mouth open, holding a folder that looked like a crucifix. And Remy looked him in the eye and said, "You didn't see anything." It's classic, but regrettably for her, the internet sees everything within hours of the footage leaking hashtags, so after hours of the meltdown, Remy Ma didn't lean back, and my fans were in shock over her personal favorite, from bars to behind bars. Some of them pulled up old interviews and club appearances where she seemed a little too animated, including a resurfaced clip from 2019 where Fat Joe nervously asks her, "You good?" mid-conversation. Conspiracy theories were coming in fast, and the show's producers were silent. There was no statement, no response, just radio static, which in this industry is code for panic mode because, let's not forget, the after-hours show is live, so there is no delay or edit button. Instead, we saw chaos in slow motion just before her segment was about. The audience was clapping in confusion as the band continued to play, and when she finally reappeared, there was a brief shot of Remy backstage again, just off stage, and she was visibly shaking. We may never know if it was due to nerves or something more sinister, but we do know that's when everything fell apart. A woman with a clipboard ran past the curtain, and then the commercial cut abruptly just as Remy was about to speak. Now, let's pause and consider how often a live talk show just cuts someone off. This wasn't a Kanye Taylor moment, and she wasn't dropping an F-bomb. It was a planned segment, supposed to discuss her new documentary series, Reminisce Redemption, or Regret, which is ironically titled, So why was it asked? According to sources, the producers called off the show in the middle of it. One of the show's investors allegedly threatened to withhold funding if Remy appeared on air in that condition. Another source says that after seeing the footage, the EBS show's host Lance Carter refused to sit next to her, telling staff, "If she's rolling in like that, I'm not rolling cameras." And that, dear viewers, is when the panic became standard procedure. There was no screaming, just 2 security guards, a publicist on the verge of tears, and a very stunned Remy Ma being led into a black SUV. Guess who was waiting at the U? Could cut the disappointment with a knife because shortly after that SUV pulled off, someone, probably a staff member, posted a blurred-out snippet of the backstage footage. It was only a few seconds without sound, but it was enough to spark enough outrage for TMZ to post a blurry thumbnail and call it exclusive. Law enforcement got involved because, well, it's a legal matter now, and guess what? That's exactly where we're headed next because, well, It's just hours after that hazy video surfaced online, the NYPD confirmed they were looking into creepy footage purportedly connected to Reminisce Smith, also known as Remy Ma. You already know what that means, which is that they're not just watching, they're gathering, they're getting ready, and they might even be charging. But wait, it gets worse. The full raw surveillance clip, unedited and uncut, was leaked online through a Burner X, formerly a Twitter account called Bronx Backstage Leaks Cute, and within 20 minutes, the video had amassed over 3. It received 2 million views in 2 hours, and after TMZ posted an edited version, it was shared by The Shade Room, Baller Alert, and even Barstool Sports, who seemed to want a piece of this catastrophe as well. Titled Remy Ma SHOCKED Behind the Scenes Breakdown Sparks Police Interest, it was game over when news outlets began treating this as a criminal investigation, not the cutesy kind with a slap on the wrist. According to an anonymous source close to the DA's office, we're not just looking at what she did, we're looking at what she brought into a secure building, which is a serious offense. It is bigger than a rapper gone rogue. Now, if you think this is just some tabloid drama, let me break it down for you. The after-hours show was filmed inside a major network building, which means government oversight, which means federal jurisdiction. This means Remy Ma didn't just possibly commit a crime, she did it. According to sources on network property, the security team is frantically trying to find out who entered, what they brought in, and how the footage was leaked in the first place. One producer, who wished to remain anonymous, stated, "It wasn't just Remy. We all messed up. This could take down the whole season." The best part is that there are rumors that the FBI may become involved because the substance that was caught on tape isn't just your typical party favor. Several gossip accounts are claiming that it was a schedule-controlled substance, the kind of thing that lands people in federal courtrooms, not just rehab facilities. Meanwhile, the public has turned into a theatrical mess with Twitter threads, dissecting Pinky's precise angle in an attempt to ascertain intent. To monitor behavioral changes, investigators are comparing this film to previous Remy interviews. 7 million views literally end with a girl saying, "You can't tell me she wasn't on something during her Wendy Williams appearance in 2021. Look at her eyes." It's turned into a real-time cultural investigation, meme war, and digital manhunt. But that's not all. 12 hours after the footage was released, Papoose shared a now-deleted Instagram story with the simple, heartbreaking words, "You hold someone down for years," without any context or tags. That one post sent fans into overdrive, wondering if he was done with her and whether it was a divorce rumor. Clarissa Shields, Remy's known adversary, posted a mysterious tweet that simply said, "Quay karma, girl," just minutes after that story vanished. Not only was it clumsy, but it was also calculated, and as you are already aware, the internet copied it and ran screenshots of entire YouTube lives under the title Clarissa Finally Speaks. Was she right about Remy all along? Let's not forget that just 2 weeks ago, Clarissa publicly accused Remy Ma of living a double life, but fans laughed and referred to it as petty ex energy. Now, they are revisiting that claim as if it were a prophecy, and as if that wasn't enough, Fat Joe went on Instagram Live and attempted to do damage control. Keywords: looking like a man trying not to admit he was blindsided. Y'all know Remy. I know Remy. We've been through it. But let's not judge before the facts come out, baby. They came with high-def video and a possible arrest warrant, and even the breakfast. Club got involved. Charlemagne opened the show by saying, "If the footage is real, and it looks very real, then we've got to ask what Remy's running from, because it's not accountability." Brutal. Meanwhile, several outlets reported that Ray's team has now hired a crisis PR team and that she's allegedly considering checking into a private treatment facility for exhaustion. Oh honey, that old trick. Here's the exclusive tea, based on a leaked direct message between a verified stylist and a blogger, which Remy wasn't even supposed to do. The show allegedly demanded a last-minute guest list spot after her team pleaded with producers for a quick win to change public perception after her rumored fallout with Papoose. Was not only a last-minute PR stunt, but it also turned into a public relations disaster. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, one of the backstage crew members posted a TikTok saying that they warned the producers beforehand that she would appear shaky, sweaty, and rambling. I asked my boss, "Are we sure she's good to go on camera?" And they said, "It's Remy Ma, she'll pull it together." Guess what? She didn't. And now the consequences are piling up like unfiled paperwork. We're talking about potential breach of contract lawsuits and sponsors dropping one of the shows. The final piece of the puzzle is that, according to unverified reports, Remy Ma has been officially banned from the network studio lot until further notice. That's right, not suspended, banned. Because when public opinion collides with betrayal, you better believe that is the recipe for a full-on fallout. Now that the cameras are off, the damage is done. And Remy Ma, sis, is facing the biggest scandal of her entire career, which is saying something considering her rap sheet is already longer than a CVS. Let's talk about the fallout. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office formally confirmed 48 hours after the video went viral that they are looking into recent allegations related to an incident at the after-hours show studio involving a high-profile figure. Translation: Remy Ma is being investigated for criminal charges, and the charges include possession of a controlled substance, tampering with a live production set, endangerment, violation of parole conditions, and possibly intent to distribute. Yes, that last one was allegedly whispered heavily behind closed doors. The amount of the substance in the leaked footage was allegedly not for personal use, according to what the DA claims to have reviewed, meaning this isn't Remy Ma slipping up backstage anymore. The worst part is that she is doing all of this while still technically on supervised release from her previous incarceration. According to people familiar with the case, Remy's legal team is now working non-stop to negotiate a voluntary surrender to prevent a public takedown or an unexpected arrest. Because let's face it, nobody wants to see Remy Ma in handcuffs in front of her Dunkin' Donuts. But the network is coming for her too. The network, NBC Studios, which owns the rights to the after-hours show, recently released a formal statement announcing a zero-tolerance drug policy violation that could result in civil litigation. Yes, you read that in addition to possible criminal charges, Remy could now face a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the network for safety violations and reputational harm. Breach of studio protocol, and if you thought that was the end of it, think again, because now government watchdog groups are involved. According to documents shared by investigative journalist Lexi Monroe, the FCC has received numerous complaints from viewers who feel that something was wrong during the taping and want to know why a potentially impaired guest was allowed to perform. Also, let's not forget that Ray's segment never aired, but the audience was there and some of them have already spoken out. TikTok user XJ from Harlem posted a 3-part video titled, "I was there when Remy Ma got snatched." In the now viral video, she claims, "We heard yelling backstage, then everything just stopped. The host came out and said the show was cutting early. We didn't even get our Q&A." In the meantime, back in the world of rap and celebrity gossip, everyone is turning their backs on brands, sponsors, and even close friends. You may recall that the documentary series Reminisce, Redemption or Regret, which was supposed to rebrand her image and finally tell her story, was quietly pulled from all streaming platforms. To make matters worse, one audience member has allegedly sued, claiming that they experienced emotional distress while watching Remy be escorted out mid-breakdown. Welcome to the age of the lawsuit economy. Oh no, her honored segment was removed during the BET Awards. An insider told Rap Report Weekly, "Nobody wants to be next to a sinking ship, especially one that's leaking evidence." She was slated to be on the magazine cover next month, but it was pulled, and rap peers there were running quicker than Travis Scott concertgoers. Speaking of evidence, guess who is now assisting the authorities? The E-intern, yes, the same young man who entered and stopped Remy in the middle, allegedly gave police a written statement outlining exactly what he saw and attesting that this wasn't the first time. Let's put the facts straight. Remy Ma faces potential jail time, her marriage is in ruins, her reputation is damaged, and even the streets have begun to whisper that don't get it twisted. Remy isn't going down without trying to change the story. Her PR team recently issued a carefully worded statement stating that Ms. Smith is currently undergoing evaluation and will be entering a wellness facility for exhaustion, personal recovery, and mental clarity. Since no criminal lawyer has confirmed that she has entered treatment, this evaluation could simply be a fancy Airbnb with security cameras turned off. You would think that after all of this, Remy Ma would go silent, but instead there is a blurry paparazzi photo of her ducking into a blacked-out Escalade. She thanks her fans for their continued love and support. Girl, we've heard this script before for PR rehab, not to be confused with actual rehab. Went viral and fans started zooming in like it was a Zapruder movie right away. One user wrote, "I swear, that's a bracelet from the county. Someone check that wrist." Others weren't very funny, and the last nail in the coffin was this tweet. From love and hip-hop to chain and shackles, y'all, the internet has no chill. It turns out that Papoose' mysterious Instagram post wasn't just heartbreak, it was foreshadowing. According to several sources close to the couple, he's already moved out and has been spotted house hunting alone in New Jersey. One source close to him says he's heartbroken, but he warned her, and now that's all there is to fix. Shattered, and Remy Ma, who was once hailed as the queen who went from prison to platinum, has fallen harder than ever before. As she awaits her fate, indictments, hearings, and media firestorms, one question remains. Is this the end, or is this just the beginning of something even darker? Because if you think this is crazy, just wait until the wiretaps drop. Here we are, Remy Ma, the queen of comeback stories, now the face of a full-blown scandal. From a talk show taping to viral footage, a potential arrest, and her entire brand crashing like a bad beat drop. This could be the biggest celebrity downfall of the year. But we want to know what you think. Was this a setup, a cry for help, or has Remy been spiraling behind the scenes the entire time, pretending everything was under control? Finally, karma cashing in. Leave your theories in the comments section. Was Clarissa correct all along, or is Papoose really done for good? Or are we about to witness another unexpected turn of events that no one saw coming? If you're here for the chaos, the receipts, and the truths that these celebrities wish remained hidden, then hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications.